The gentleman yields. The chair now recognizes the full committee chairwoman, the gentlelady from Washington, a champion for truth, Ms. Rodgers.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the truth is, energy costs are increased across the board, directly driving inflation. Ms. Nwanka, I wanted to start with you. The ability of families to feel secure in their finances is so important to all of us and many Americans across the country. It's a sense of stability. The last 4 years have brought record levels, high levels of interest rates, borrowing costs. Housing is feeling more out of reach to young Americans. Add to this the cost of energy, and it affects the cost of other goods and services. It is one of the biggest drivers of the record inflation, and it is causing serious problems. Would you please speak about the combined impacts of high interest rates, inflation, high energy costs on the ability of families to feel secure, look to the future, and if there's any policies from this administration that you believe have led us to this place?
Thank you, Chair Rodgers. You know, I began my remarks earlier just painting a picture of where the financial household situation for a lot of families are right now, and it's in a tenuous financial position. I've mentioned the fact that personal savings have fallen by $3 trillion. Average households have lost $2,000 of purchasing power. Real wages have actually have been negative for 25 months in a row. Real wages, not nominal, real, what people actually feel and take home every day. Collective credit card balances is a high of $1.1 trillion. This is average across the United States, but when you drill down on low-income families, on a lot of low-income Black families, you see these families are struggling to make tough choices. When 44% of households living near the poverty line are choosing between food and keeping warm or keeping cool in a year, it exposes that not only are prices high, but people are struggling and they're straining. And then there's also a larger sense that the American dream, the facets of buying a house tend to be out of reach. The idea of being able to afford a car, afford your car payment is continuing to be out of reach. So that's where the American family is. And I always go back to the steps that we've seen when inflation took off in mid-2021 after the American Rescue Plan was enacted. We saw after that point large fiscal spending bills, whether you're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, which President Biden recently, yesterday I believe, or 2 days ago, admitted was really not about reducing inflation. It should have been named something differently.
Thank you.
We recognize that the climate change investments are one thing, but actual bread and butter issues where people are is not where these energy policies or fiscal economic policies are really hitting and helping them.
Thank you for those insights. I have some more questions. Ms. Pryor, it's good to hear your perspective as a working farmer. I understand that you grow apples as a part of your business. I grew up on an apple orchard in eastern Washington, so I appreciate what you do. I wanted to ask you, American families are understandably concerned about the high cost of food. Would you speak to how high costs are passed through the supply chain and any insights you want to give us as far as how energy costs prevent you from charging competitive prices to what China offers when it comes to concentrate for apples?
So it's not my ability to charge. I have no ability to charge what my crops are worth. We are given a price, and we have a perishable product, so the choice is take it or leave it. It's not to negotiate after that price is given. It is a supply and demand issue, so if they can get their supply from elsewhere for cheaper, and that makes economic business sense for them, that's what they're going to do. Our food does not go directly to grocery stores, so for apples, we harvest them, pick them, we either take them somewhere where they are processed into an apple-containing product, or they are prepared, wash packed to go directly to a grocery store for fresh. There is a lot of concentrate coming in from other countries. We do grow a lot of processing apples, mainly puree, and it's a problem that I see. That's our competition. I'm not competing with Washington farmers. I'm competing with other farmers in other countries.
How does that impact food supply?
you know, the supply is, I don't, as an American farmer, it is disheartening to me to think that we would be dependent on another country to feed our citizens. I want our citizens to be eating food that I'm growing. I'm very proud of what I do. And I also, I know from, you know, we had supply chain issues in 2020. We don't want to be dependent on another nation to feed us. We want to feed ourselves.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I have more questions, especially about why Washington State is paying among the highest grocery bills in the nation, but I'll have to follow up in writing. Yield back.
Gentlelady yields. The chair